Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Football Stooges. As always, I am your host, Lob City, and welcome to the stupidest way to cover football imaginable.
And boys, it's stupid.
Indeed it is. We had a lot of really close UFL games this week that we need to talk about. Really break those down as the UFL is getting in its final stretch. We are breaking down week 8 going into week 9. And then that next week, week 10, is the last week in the regular season. The UFL has flown by and it has been a really good season thus far. It's been really great. So I can't wait to break these games down and look how break 3 of these 4 games down, because as always, my Brahmas are dropping the ball. For someone who never drops the ball, my right-hand man in this podcast, the one and only Pure All Hand Sanitizer, here for 99.9% of all episodes, Macedon.
Tired.
He's so bright and white.
I'm not white, I'm bleach.
Same
We
color.
know. Now start painting minis as always. Anyway, next up, with a beer.
I was building.
A beer, filling in for Gorlami, who's out coaching. It's Mamba.
I'm Gorlami. I like cheese. I like beer.
Well, I'm about to say, since you said you're Gorlami, you have to shotgun it, but you can shotgun a glass bottle.
Oh yeah.
You also hate Portugal.
I like the Green Bay Packers.
What do you drink? What beer even is that? Was it Michelob? Hell yeah.
Yep.
Solid beer. Solid beer.
Solid.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Kadoff.
Least. Man, you're full of those more than me.
Yeah, I'm fucking up things
You're
about as bad
fucking
as
him.
Whoa. That's not what this show's about.
Yeah, fucking things just about as bad as
got
Joe
ca-
Mazzulla and the fucking Celtics.
God, we have so much more room on the camera without Gorlami's fat
Yeah,
ass.
as long as
Damn, Mama. Damn.
Wow.
Even here, he's catching strays. Fuck, dude. All right. That's the way we're going to start it. A couple things to do. Obviously, crossover as we always do. Then we're going to break down all 4 UFL games, preview the next week's all 4 UFL games, as well as talk about the playoff picture. Obviously, we're going to have KF News right before that. And then at the very last part, there's going to be a list for Macedon. Once again, his favorite part of every show, the tier list, in which he has experienced none of these things.
Yeah. Also, Tush Push is not banned.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
congrats.
not. By 2 votes. Thank you, Patriots, which I'm kind of surprised about because
You're welcome.
Yeah. It had to be written better, and honestly, it felt like it was spite now because of, with the Packers.
Well,
so yeah.
Apparently, it was something said that Goodell's the one that tried to push the ban onto Green Bay.
You could say Goodell was
And then-
pushing his way to the ban.
Well,
I mean-
also it did help with some of the stuff that they were trying to say for like the rule change affected a bunch of other plays also that seemed very illogical.
I mean, the biggest thing is, I think the way it should have been phrased is that they needed to change the rule about forwarding a runner with the ball. You were not allowed to pick up a carrier of the football or push a carrier with the football. However, the tush push is allowed for some reason because it's a kind of like a wedge scrum. If you just basically added an addendum to that rule that says you're not allowed to pick up a player with the football and move him forward or pull that player, you just need to add an addendum. You can't push it either, and then it's fine. And then the biggest issue of the tush push is basically fixed, which is not all the linemen. The biggest aspect of the tush push, I think, is actually what helps it so much is somebody pushing Jalen Hurts. It's not just the big linemen and Jalen Hurts being physical specimen, which they are. I'm saying that one of the biggest issues with all of that is at the very back of that, you also have a running back pushing Jalen Hurts as well.
Yeah. If they try to say like, oh, this is for safety, it's like, no. I can name 5 things for safety that the tush push is much safer than, because there's been 0 injuries.
15 different plays that are a lot more dangerous than the tush push that are still being used.
Let's see.
almost every
Here's
game.
one safety thing. Thursday night football after a 3-day rest. FedEx Field.
MetLife Field.
Just,
Entire
MetLife
defensive
Field.
line is perfect.
turf. The fucking roughing the passer penalty bullshit, because there's been 2 defenders that actually tore their ACL by trying not to put their body weight for that rule.
The entire concept of Vontez Perfect.
The San Francisco 49ers, and then the San Francisco 49ers, because we need to mention them twice because fuck, that was bad. Christian Watson's right leg. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start with our crossover grid and then move on to KDUF news. All right, a lot of zeros. 1,000 rushing yards, 100 career passing yards, and receiving. So we need a wide receiver.
You mean passing touchdowns?
Yeah, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, and receiving yards. So
100 career. Hold on, Miami and 100 career pass touchdowns. Try Ryan Tannehill.
There's no way he's had 100.
oh my goodness.
Okay, well, I guess
Out of the blue. I mean, he had a couple of good seasons. Jake Delhomme, yeah.
Jake Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme.
Oh, okay.
And then the Browns. Ooh.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the guy.
Quarterback Joe Flacco. He's the greatest. He's the best.
I was thinking from the 80s. I was thinking from the 80s. For
the Ravens, they have this new guy, Lamar Jackson. He's great, but listen, he doesn't bring back the classics like Joe Flacco, elite quarterback.
I was watching
It was great. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Rush yards in a season. Larry Zonka did not have 1,000. I want to actually
try Jay Ajayi.
There's no fucking way Larry Zonka had 1,000 rush yards in a season back when the running backs were wearing that helmet.
Maybe in the perfect season. I don't know.
Oh god, you just made me lag out for a minute. Actually, how do you spell this? Is CSON?
CSONKA.
Okay, I'm actually going to try to look up his stats.
Carolina Panthers running back. We could do Christian McCaffrey's an easy one.
He did it 3 times. He
three times. Clap it up for Larry Zonka. I didn't. I totally thought he would have some 800 rushing yard seasons. What in the world? All right.
Yeah, Panthers. Master. Did Miles Sanders ever have 1,000-yard rushing when he was an Eagle?
Maybe 22. I think maybe 2022.
Shout out Miles Sanders.
Hey.
And then Browns. Let's go with the classic.
Oh, I was about to say Nick Chubb.
The original Brown.
Wait, no, James, the singer, Jim Brown. This is a man's world. Yeah.
Okay. Browns 1,000-yard receiving yards.
Josh Gordon.
Try Odell Beckham.
This is Tyreek.
OBJ.
Oh, I mean,
is it better to do Odell or are we gonna do Josh Gordon?
Oh, do Josh Gordon.
It doesn't matter.
Do Gordon.
Stay off the weed. 1,000-yard receiving season as a Panther. Let's try Adam Thielen.
I was about to say, what was the angry receiver?
Oh,
Steve
Dolphins
Smith.
He was on
do Brandon
Steve
Marshall.
Brandon Marshall. Okay.
Forgot he was on Miami.
Brandon Marshall.
Boom. Boom, baby.
Yep.
Some other popular answers.
All first tries.
Yeah, all first tries. The only most popular answer we did was Joe Flacco. So, how many 100 career passing touchdown quarterbacks have there been for the Browns? Probably a decent bit. Mayfield. Whoa, actually, not a lot. Holy fuck. You got Flacco, Mayfield, Winston, and Deshaun Watson. Jake Delhomme also was a Brown. When Jeff Garcia,
end of his career.
Oh, shout out Trent Dilfer.
Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, Bernie Kosar.
Hold on. When did the Browns have both the Ravens Super Bowl winning quarterbacks? Because I don't remember Trent Dilfer being a Brown.
He was a Brown. Len Dawson, Mark Rypien, Vinny Testaverde, Bernie Kosar, Frank Ryan, and at the very bottom here, Testaverde. Right here, that's on the other side. That's Autogram. In 3 rows, we went from Joe Flacco to Autogram. And the Browns have been around since the... The Browns have been around since the beginning of the NFL. That is how bad this organization has been with quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
I think who is the best quarterback here that is a Brown first? Because honestly,
Baker.
it might
Well,
not
Bernie
be
Kosar. Bernie
Kosar
or Baker.
Bernie
Kosar's
Kosar,
one.
Otto Graham, and I think
Baker.
honestly, I think Baker by the end of his career is going to be a Buccaneer. You're going to remember him as a Buccaneer, not as a Brown.
True, but you said Brown first. Who was?
I'm saying like
Brown first.
By Brown first, I mean like when you think of them, you think of their best years was a Brown. So like when you think of Terrell Owens, you don't think of him as a Bill or a Bengal, which obviously you should as a Bengal because he was amazing. It was really that good, but like you think of Terrell Owens on the Niners or on the Eagles. You don't think of him on the Bills or the Bengals, at the end of his career. Like when I say AJ Hawk, do you think of Bengals middle linebacker legend AJ Hawk or all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers AJ Hawk? Yeah. So of all these guys on this list, obviously like I think the best one that you would Kosar, Graham, was Vinny. Was he a Brown mainly? I thought he was on another team specifically.
Oh, he was Jets.
He was with a lot of
Jets.
Jets and Buccaneers. I remember.
Yeah.
Him.
But also he wasn't all that. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's a crossover grid. Wow, I am stumbling over my words today. Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, Kansas. Anyway, TFS news. Oh, fucking this guy! Oh, Jesus! Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
Tush push not banned. Tush push not banned.
All right, I guess we'll start out with that news then. All right. So, KDF news. Obviously, the big news of the week is the league meetings were held in Minneapolis and new proposed changes were voted upon. Of course, as we've already discussed, the tush push has failed to have been banned by the league, and it actually came very close. So the score needed to, the total votes needed to get the ban to pass was 24. They were able to get 22 votes for the push and 10 against. So 22-10. And if that number sounds familiar, it's the exact same score that the Eagles beat the Packers in the wild card round this year with. So that's just more salt in the eye for the Packers who first discussed putting this out.
Even though apparently it was Goodell that said something, not the Packers organization. So,
yeah. Other votes. NFL players in the Olympics. They are approved to be partaking in flag football competition for the Olympics. Playoff reseeding. This would have seen the reorder of seeding for the playoffs to be by record, not strictly by division, and it would also be reordered after the wild card. That would have happened. So, like, say if the second, third, and fifth seeded teams were eliminated, and the fourth, sixth, and seventh moved on, they would just be reseeded to 1, 2, 3, 4. That ended up getting withdrawn by the Lions, so it was not voted on. So that will not be discussed further.
Real quick to go back to one thing, do you think Tom Brady will play in the Olympics to add a gold medal to his resume?
No. What?
It's flag football. He doesn't have to be at the peak of his physical game. He just needs to have a good arm and a good eye.
He's already
kind of funny to see.
I mean, it would be funny.
He's already making bank with his commentating deal.
I mean, if you had the chance to go out, and I don't want to put the cart before the horse, the chicken before the egg, or the Drake before the May, but listen, if there has ever been a gold medal that is in the fucking bank for the United States, it's flag football. All right? There's going to be some competition, but at the same time, dog. Like, how do we lose this?
I'm not saying yes or no to either side, but I'm pretty sure his broadcast deal only applies to the NFL and not Olympics, Macedon. So
I know. No, but I'm saying he's already making bank. He probably just wants to take a break during that time after that. What I'm saying is
a ultra competitive guy like Tom, I wouldn't put that completely out of realm of possibility.
Yeah.
But that's just speculation. Anyway, some other votes. New league. There's going to be a new league award Protector of the Year. It's going to be awarded at the end of the season to the league's best offensive lineman. This was a proposal championed by Bills offensive tackle Deion Dawkins and former Rams offensive tackle Andrew Whitworth. Honestly, I like the sound of that. It gives a lot more perspective or more focus, on offensive linemen, the job they do in the league. So that'll be good. And also, a little lesser important, the Browns have approved a limited ownership stake in their team for Hall of Fame cornerback Charles Woodson. He is now a partial owner of the Browns. Anyway, back to how we normally start this off. Injury news for the UFL, short to long-term stuff. Out for this week, Panthers quarterback Bryce Perkins with an ankle injury. Brahmas defensive end Isaiah Buggs with a calf strain. Battlehawks cornerback Chris Payton-Jones with a hamstring injury. And questionables going into the week are Roughnecks wide receivers Kiki Chisholm with a chest injury and Lawrence Keyes with an ankle injury. Both Stallions quarterback Alex McGough and Roughnecks quarterback Nolan Henderson both have shoulder injuries. Panthers punter Seth Vernon is dealing with a knee injury, and defenders linebacker Anthony Hines with an elbow injury. As for NFL news, good and bad news. So the good news is for Lions fans, defensive end Aiden Hutchinson has been fully cleared for football activity. This is after he has spent the majority of last season out after a pretty nasty knee and leg injury. I think he had both his tibia and fibia fractured on a play. And slightly bad news, as the three-way quarterback competition in New Orleans is now going down to two, at least for the majority of the offseason. Saints quarterback Jake Hayner apparently suffered an oblique injury on Wednesday's practice. He's only expected to miss a couple weeks, and should be back for training camp. But we most likely seen the end of him out of OTAs. Other than that, signings in the UFL, the Brahmas are signing undrafted free agent Oklahoma State quarterback Alan Bowman, and the Eagles are extending head coach Nick Sirianni on a multi-year extension. I believe that ties him to the team until at least 2030. I don't know if I've seen exactly how long
I haven't looked at that yet.
Let me just take a look here. It's not fully detailed, but it's apparently a significant upgrade from his 5-year, $35 million deal. So you're stuck with this fucker.
Super Bowl.
Anyway, on to other free agency stuff. Let's see. We've got the Bears. They are extending the contract for newly acquired guard Joe Thuney. That gives him a 2-year, $35 million extension. The Browns have signed rookie quarterback Shadur Sanders on a 4-year, $4.6 million deal. The Packers there's rookie wide receiver Matthew Golden. His rookie deal is 4 years, $17.6 million. The Chargers rookie running back Amarian Hampton, 4 years, $17.7 million. We've got the Giants, their rookie defensive end Abdul Carter on a 4-year, $45.2 million deal. Damn, that's a lot. And then for the 49ers, I say that's a lot going into this. They've made a lot of new new arrivals. First off, rookie defensive end Michael Williams, 4 years, $25 million. They've got a new kicker, former Jets kicker Greg Joseph, on a 1-year deal. And as much as we make fun about like how much Ryan Fitzpatrick has moved around, this is Joseph's 12th team in a 7-year career.
And he's not a bad kicker, though.
Not at all. He's only just turned 30, and he's been with the Dolphins, Browns, Panthers, Titans, Buccaneers, Vikings, Packers, Lions, Giants, Commanders, and Jets before coming here.
Wow.
Goddamn.
I have a feeling like kickers kind of move around a lot more. Like if you're not the main kicker, I feel like they kind of move around a lot more.
I mean, yeah, but how many times do you hear okay, I've been moved 4 times in 1 year? Because Greg Joseph has.
Yeah, that's real rough. That's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, other stuff for the 49ers. 2 huge signings. First off, the extension for linebacker Fred Warner, 3 years, $63 million. That makes him the highest paid linebacker in the league for the second time in his career. The first time was with the original contract he signed with the Niners. And, excuse me, I almost threw up at looking at the total for this one. Brock Purdy went from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. 5 years, $265 million. $181 million fully guaranteed. It's the highest paid contract the Niners have ever given a player.
Here's the thing, though. Does he not deserve that? Go off his credentials. He's led them to a Super Bowl. He's also been an exemplar performer at the quarterback position. He's not had a losing record or a bad completion percentage often. He hasn't thrown a ton of picks. Like, they're giving him Trevor Lawrence money, and he is better than Trevor Lawrence, and I don't think that is crazy to say.
It's a little insane, and if you just look at the fact that he's a Mr. Irrelevant, but like you said,
I think that's more of an accomplishment for him. Like, this guy went from someone that, he's out of Iowa State, no one thinks he's going to be anybody. He goes out and he just balls out.
Yeah.
And he's in the top half or if top fourth of quarterbacks. Like, this is a well-deserved contract, in my opinion.
My only question is, where the fuck is Jed York getting the money to pay this man?
Well, no more Debo. Probably no more Ayuk.
Yeah,
Trent Williams' deal, I think, is a little smaller now. I think it was front-loaded, not back-loaded. So
I thought he's gone.
Trent Williams? No, I don't think he's gone. He left the team for personal issues. I think if I remember correctly,
I was thinking Laremy Tunsil, I think.
Oh, Trent.
Sorry, I got those two confused.
Yeah, but yeah,
Trent Williams, I think he lost his kid or something.
He did. He did lose a kid, sadly.
Yeah, very sad. Let's see, a couple of other things real quick here. Seahawks rookie quarterback Jalen Milrose getting a 4-year, $6.2 million deal. Titans first overall pick quarterback Cam Ward, 4 years, $48.7 million.
Oh,
that's a decent amount for him.
That thing is that's starting to be normal for like first overall picks in a way, though. Like just past like few years.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, other stuff we've got going on. This year's seasons of Hard Knocks on HBO will be featuring the Buffalo Bills. The Eagles are bringing back a old friend of theirs. There's a former Jets general manager, Joe Douglas, is being brought back as a senior scouting director. He was last with the team in 2019 as their player personnel director. And just a couple more things. First off, or just to get this out of the way, there has been another Antonio Brown thing.
I feel like ignoring it.
It's not a very big one though. Apparently he was involved in a fight in Miami that did involve a bit of a gun going off. He was briefly detained but later released. Apparently it was a robbery gone wrong or something like that. But who knows what the fuck to make out of that. Another one, ESPN has apparently been sued for $100 million for what has been described by a literally unnamed plaintiff for a lot of emotional damage and trauma. And I don't know who could possibly be having that much trauma and basically like have so much like, I don't know what's the word to look at here, trauma and consider something a travesty. Other than Mel Kiper, considering he's the only one who was crashing out constantly over the fact Shedeur Sanders wasn't a first overall pick.
Yeah, it's a lawsuit over Shedeur Sanders dropping.
It's not confirmed. Yeah, it's not completely confirmed, but like who else would be suing ESPN that much money over the fact a guy that you said was going to be a first round pick ended up being the 144th. It was brought to my attention by this guy, my microphone on YouTube. He a video that's literally titled "Mel Kiper is going out sad." And he's not wrong. I mean, like, how are you only crashing out now when you've literally spent 40 years telling people basically what we do on draft seasons, like thinking like we are the know all end all of what teams need to do to draft players to put them back in contention.
See, we're dumb, but Mel Kiper is stupid.
Yes, like he has some knowledge. I will give him some knowledge, but going back to the who in the hell is Mel Kiper legendary quote anyway. He's never been a player. He's never been a coach. He's never been an executive for any team. he has about as knowledge about how the draft process works as us. So only now you're realizing just how much people don't give a shit about your opinion, and you're getting butthurt about it. Go home, dude. Just go home. And speaking of that thing from the Who in the Hell is Mel Kiper anyway, you know who was saying that? The former general manager of the Indianapolis Colts. And that goes into the final bit of news I have this week. It was sadly reported yesterday that Colts owner Jim Irsay has passed away in his sleep at the age of 65. Jim Irsay, he was involved with the Colts ever since his father Bob bought the team in '72 and then moved him in Mayflower trucks to Indianapolis. He served in multiple positions, including as the youngest GM in team history at the age of 24. Become the sole owner in 1997 when his father passed away. And under his tenure, the Colts would draft Peyton Manning, see 2 Super Bowl appearances with 1 win, work with multiple Hall of Fame coaches and players. He's had a great time. I'm leading them through what has most likely been probably the best stretch of dominance and success the Indianapolis Colts ever had. He's a well-known patron of the arts, especially for music. I've seen his band live actually, and been able to see a good portion of his collection of just so many like music artifacts he's had. He's been a philanthropist who funded various programs focusing on children's well-being and mental health, and he was a generous man, especially if you were a killer whale who wasn't named Jonathan Taylor. At the current time, his eldest daughter. Yeah, I was waiting for somebody. I was waiting for that one. Yeah, that's I feel like the only I mean I could have done like the low blow stuff like about his addiction jokes, but like the man just passed away. I'm not gonna do that to him. As for the Colts, at the current time, Irsay's oldest daughter, Carrie Irsay Gordon, is the prospective principal owner. But considering this is like less than 48 hours old, it's very unclear if the family's going to continue team ownership or is planning to sell. Honestly, they deserve this time to grieve, so we're just not going to speculate on that. Rest in peace, Jim. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Kadef, and rest in peace, Jim Irsay as well. Really good force in the state of Indiana. His philanthropic, I think is the right word. His work is very underappreciated. So anyway, first game.
It wasn't a tie.
Fuck.
The worst game ever, right? The worst 2 teams?
It was actually close. 24-22, the final score. Memphis does get the win.
Theirs was worse games than this one.
Dresser win out. So I'm not even able to lose to amazing quarterback Dresser win. Troy Williams was in for the Showboats passing the ball. 5 for 11 for 36 yards. No touchdowns, no picks, 45% completion, a 53 rating. Holy.
And that one.
Fuck! Oh, that's horrible. Our quarterback, Kevin Hogan, 14 for 25 for 92 yards, no touchdown, 3 interceptions.
Well, that explains why he signed Alan Bowman.
Yeah.
And that's how might be restarting.
For the Showboats rushing, Jalen Jackson, 7 for 76 and a touchdown. Dedrick Prince, 12 for 44. Troy Williams, 6 for 29. And D-Wood Davis, 1 for 3. They're receiving J.J. Wilson, 1 for 14. Jonathan Adams, 2 for 11. Kwame Lasser, the second, 1 for 11. And Dedrick Prince, 1 reception for no yards. For the Brahmas, I already talked about their passing department. I'm not going to talk about it again. Our rushing department was all we had. And it was Josh Shane Corbin's day. 25 attempts, 142 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 5.7 rushing average. He went off.
Damn.
But again, there's only so much one man can do. So that was rough because that was our entire offense. We had 163 yards passing and 163 rushing and 123 passing. And we threw 3 picks. So receiving, D. Anderson, 1 for 38 and a touchdown. Jay Sean Corbin, 5 for 38. Marquez Stevenson, 1 for 13. Alex Mack, 2 for 12. And Jonte Kirkland, 1 for 10. Yeah. This game was just... our running game looked the best it's ever had this season thus far, and we were taking advantage of a new quarterback again for Memphis on the defense side of the ball and kind of getting things done there. But the biggest issue was 3 picks. I don't know how many times.
Came into this knowing like all they needed to do was just contain Hogan, and they can do somewhat better.
Let's even contain Hogan. Just let him throw the ball, and then he threw it to the defense. He had 14 completions for 25 passes, right? And then 3 of those missed passes were to the defense, multiple of which were pick sixes. So our defense showed out a little bit better, but at the same time, like, we can't do anything when we shoot ourselves in the foot with like 12 gauge slug rounds. So yeah, it's been a rough season for the Brahmas. It's probably already done. Only 1 win out of 8 games, 1-7. Memphis improves to 2-6. Their season's probably also done.
Yes, it's already been set, not set, but they already have who's in the playoffs after this week.
Yeah. So, Shador Sanders, you are a San Antonio Brahma, I guess. Yeah, get this fucking shit off my screen. Holy fuck.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Battlecock.
All right, move on to a much better game. This was a 1-point game. Birmingham and St. Louis from St. Louis, Missouri. The Birmingham Stallions fall to St. Louis Battlehawks by 1. The Birmingham Stallions quarterback is now Jamar Smith. He went 14 for 27 for 262 yards, 3 touchdowns. There's 1 here you can see, and only 1 pick for a 51.9 completion percentage and a 107.3 rating. He was also their lead rusher, 10 for 45. CJ Marbles, 11 for 40, and Ricky Pearson Jr., 9 for 39. Receiving, Deion Kane, number 8, right there. 2 receptions, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cade Johnson, 1 for 47 and a touchdown. Marlon Williams, 2 for 24. Jace Sternberger, 2 for 23. David Davis, 3 for 17. Jordan Thomas, 1 for 11. Marcus Ball, 1 for 10. And Jalen Camp, 1 for 10 as well. For the Battlehawks, Max Duggan continues to be the starting quarterback for the Battlehawks. He went 12 for 21 passing for 110 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick, a 57.1 rating. 57.1 completion percentage and a 51.7 rating. On the ground, Jacob Saylors had a field day, 16 attempts, 118 yards, and a touchdown. 7.4 average yards a carry. So, great day on the ground. Max Duggan also ran the ball 11 times for 54 yards and for 2 touchdowns, 1 of which here. Receiving, Hakeem Butler, 3 for 36. Blake Jackson, 2 for 36. Jake Sutherland, 3 for 22. And Frank Darby, 1 for 13, as well as Jacob Saylors, 1 for 3. Again, 1-point game. So it came down to the wire. Again, I am impressed week in and week out just at the massive change offensively that the Battlehawks had to go through, switching from a pocket passing quarterback to Max Duggan, who is a much more athletic college style quarterback. And they've still been able to win games. Their defense has been better and better each week. As you can see here, getting a sack, really putting pressure on the quarterback and causing turnovers. They've been a menace on that side of the ball and continue to improve their play and put their offense in good positions. And then on the offensive side of the ball, there's been some struggles for Duggan. A lot of times he holds onto the ball too long in the backfield, but he's getting better each week. Like, there's noticeable improvement. As I say that, he just gets absolutely gobbled alive. But there's generally noticeable improvement. And again, this guy is a fighter. This guy is a quarterback that when he runs the football, he's like Tim Tebow. He puts his shoulders down. He's a leader. He's a very, very talented and strong-nosed guy. It just has some stuff with the nuances of being a quarterback in a higher level competition that he's not gotten yet, and he could get in the future. Who's to say what's going to happen? But again, if you look at the way he runs, this is not your average quarterback. This guy is a tough, hard-nosed, like almost, honestly, like a high school quarterback kind of vibe, much like a just athlete. But again,
Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, but honestly, like a poor man's Taysom Hill, I would honestly say with him, I guess.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, well, maybe poor man's Tim Tebow, because Taysom Hill also like plays tight end and punt blocker, fullback, DB, head coach, water boy, GM, cheerleader,
DH.
Yeah, I think the biggest aspect in this game was just the turnovers caused by the St. Louis Battlehawks defense. If you look at their defense, they had 4 total sacks, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles that they both recovered. That is a huge turnover margin to the only 1 interception and 1 forced fumble from the Stallions. Again, as we can see from a lot of these clips, there was a lot of hounding the quarterback from both sides, but it seems like the Battlehawks also had an amazing pass rush that they exploited very heavily. And if your defense is playing well, as they always say, defense does win championships. So your offense might not be able to make a drive 40 yards down the field, but if you can make them have a 20-yard drive and get a field goal, that's still points on the board. So way to turn the, oh my God, Max Duggan.
Jesus.
What was
Damn.
that?
Yeah.
Was that had to be tipped. That had to have been tipped.
Makes
No,
the only thing that makes
clean.
sense.
Oh, that's quacking.
Oh, the ball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mamba, is that quacking or is that quacking?
It is quack-a-lacking.
Oh.
That duck is wrong.
No, wait a minute. No. Did it get tipped? Hold on. Please show it. Please show up slow-mo or something. Did it get tipped here? Oh. Hold on.
We're gonna deep dive this shit.
We are. Playback speed. Quarter. You mother. Okay. Look at him. Look at him. I thought on the backward wind.
Maybe. Oh,
No,
maybe.
maybe, and then it starts. Oh, pull,
Quack, quack,
quack, quack, quack. Yeah,
Okay, quack, quack.
but again, great job by the St. Louis Battlehawks getting the win by 1. The Battlehawks proved to 6-2. Stallions fall to 5-3. Moving on to this third game. So I believe in this one, the Bryce Perkins was out with injury. Correct, Kadef?
Yeah, I believe he either got hurt this game or was just. Wait, was it Bryce Perkins on the Panthers or? Yeah, Bryce Perkins on the Panthers, I think.
Yeah. He's the MVP frontrunner right now. So he did not play in this game. So I believe it was last week he did suffer. I think it was last week he did suffer a late game injury, I thought.
Phased out. I blacked out for a moment, or blanked out for a moment. So, but yeah, I think he might have been. So if it's a long-term injury, that's going to probably hurt his chances for it. I think it's mostly just for the week. Go back to the.
I think you did say a week for him. I actually thought you said a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it says, it looks like it's going to be at least a week injury.
Dude, an ankle injury, yeah. So James Larson, who is a reporter for a USFL insider, Perkins is out this week against Birmingham, or out this weekend against Birmingham. When was this tweet posted? May 22nd. So yeah, this is also he's going to be out this upcoming week as well. He's going to be out against Birmingham. So they have a couple weeks to go until the playoffs. So it looks like they're going to try to keep him healthy for the playoffs, which is going to be influential on his MVP status. So I do think he's still the favorite, even if we're missing some of this time, because some of the plays he's done is amazing. But anyway, back to this. 30-18, the final score. Michigan takes care of business in Houston. Danny Etling steps up to the plate, coming back into a starting quarterback role for this game, and does a pretty good job. 14 for 22 for 167 and 3 touchdowns with no picks, 63% completion percentage, and a 126 rating. Good job there. Toa Tua, 12 for 46. Nate McRae, 6 for 27 on the ground, as well as Danny Etling, 5 for 22. Receiving 4 for 40 from Malik Turner for a touchdown. Devin Ross went 2 for 39 for a touchdown. Sosi Marner, 1 for 26. Jalen Moore, 2 for 24. Nate McRae, 1 for 12. And Gunnar Oaks, 1 for 12 as well. To the Roughnecks, Jalen McClendon, 30 for 50. I don't know the last time I've seen 50 passing attempts from a UFL quarterback, but here we are. 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 60% completion percentage, and an 83.4 rating. On the ground, Saquandre Wright, 8 for 59. Lorenzo Lungard, 7 for 33. Jalen McClendon, 9 for 24. Receiving, Justin Hall, 11 for 88 and a touchdown. Kiki Chisholm, 4 for 57 and a touchdown. Cecil Grayson, 4 for 56. Lawrence Keys III, 2 for 42. Emmanuel Butler, 3 for 37. Josh Peterson, 3 for 21. Kirk Merritt, 3 for 15. It seemed like this was a good chance for the Houston Roughnecks to try to get back in position and do something. If they would have won this game, they would have ended up being 4-4. Instead, they fall to 3-5. So they had a chance.
Playoffs.
Yes, out of the playoffs. So this was their game that they needed to win to get things back on the ability to make it into the playoffs. And the stars seemed to align for them. No Bryce Perkins, the MVP favorite for the UFL. So the Michigan Panthers have to resort to Danny Etling, who has had some streaky moments. So this seemed like a great position for you to go out and get a win, and instead you darn near get blown out at home, 30-18, and just straight up. I mean,
shit the bed.
This was a defensive stalwart, it seemed like, from the Panthers. I mean, they somehow still won the game while allowing 316 passing yards and 125 rushing yards. That's over 400 and nearly 50 total combined offensive yards. And they still lost the game, the Roughnecks did. Which is just rough. So key stops at the right moments, drives fizzling out, inconsistency on offense, and then just a defense that was not able to do it when it mattered. You know, put the pedal down and stop offensive drives. Again, 3 touchdowns for Danny Etling. An amazing job there, and some really good setup drives because of some, as we saw earlier, good kick returns or punt returns, some interceptions or fumble recoveries, some turnovers, stuff of that nature. So, great job by the Panthers to handle business, and for Roughnecks, this is a tough way to go.
Yeah.
Real tough way to go. So their own hands, yeah. We'll have to see for the Panthers. The biggest issue is going to be obviously Bryce Perkins, because Etling is inconsistent, and I don't think they're going to be able to win as well and go as deep in the playoffs as they should be able to if they don't have Perkins. But now this Perkins injury is a 2-week injury instead of a 1-week injury, so there's going to be a lot of questions with his status and how ready he is to continue to compete, because again, he's not just a sit in the pocket quarterback, he is all over the field. So that's a big question coming up. And then for the Roughnecks, it's back to the drawing board and focus on getting these last few games under your belt, performing well, seeing who wants to stay, who can stay, and what you need to do for next season. All right, that's really all we have to cover with this game. So we'll move on now to the Arlington Renegades and the DC Defenders, the last game of the weekend. Another close one. A lot of great close games this week, honestly. That last game was probably the biggest margin of victory at 12. This was another one-possession game. 30-33 the final score. The Renegades got defeated in DC. DC got the job done at home. The Renegades, passing department, Luis Perez, 32 for 46 for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 69.6 nice completion percentage, and a 97.2 rating. I kind of feel bad for Perez. I feel like he would be the MVP favorite at this point just because of his stats, even if the Renegades were 3-5. But his stats are amazing, and it's just the same years like Bryce Perkins came out of nowhere. Rushing, Day Hunter 10 for 40, Torrey Jones Jr. 6 for 36, Luis Perez 2 for 9, and Holton Allers 1 for this guy's got to be a fullback. 1 attempt, 1 rushing yard, 1 rushing touchdown. A 1 yard rush.
It's a score.
That's a score. Receiving, Big Bad Saul Canella 6 for 64, Deontay Burrett 6 for 64. Tyler Vaughn, 3 for 51 and 2 touchdowns. Day Hunter, 6 for 49. Javante Payton, 4 for 47. Seth Green, 2 for 43. Isaiah Winstead, 4 for 30. And Torrey Jones Jr., 1 for 2. For the defenders, Jordan Ta'amu, 15 for 26 for 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, a 57% completion percentage, and a 114.3 rating, Rushing, Deion Jackson, 10 for 89 and a touchdown. Jordan Ta'amu, 5 for 21. Chris Rowland, 2 for 14. And Abram Smith, 4 for 11 and a touchdown. Receiving, Corbin Powell, 4 for 59 and a touchdown. Brethren Sanders, 1 for 36. Chris Rowland, 1 for 31. Deion Jackson, 1 for 27. Jalen McKinnon's 1 for 26. Javon Antonio, 3 for 25. Ben Brenishon, 2 for 24. And Jordan Ta'amu, 1 reception, 9 yards, 1 touchdown. I believe that was... No, where was that? Here it is. Boop. Reverse pass. Back over to Amu. Takes it in for the touchdown. So chalk it up for Tamu and is it Josh Allen that have like in professional football that have caught their own touchdown? Or no.
Marcus
Josh
Mariota
Allen caught
did
his
the
own
same thing.
pass. Yeah. I think Marcus Mariota also did that, but I guess this wasn't his own pass. This was just a like
And Nick Foles.
well-designed setup. Yeah, Nick Foles, Tom Brady almost. It was really close.
Just out of reach. Just
a bit outside. So yeah, a really close game, 3-point game. Also, really ballsy to pull out this trick play.
Yeah.
So gotta love the emotion from Tamu there. That's awesome. That is awesome. That guy in the front row, he did not know what to do there. He's like, "Hey, yeah, ooh, oh."
Why are you yelling at me?
He's probably just drunk out of his mind. Just like, "Yeah, dude, what's happening?" An offensive showcase from both teams. 30-33, the final score. Again, Luis Perez threw for 350 yards, only 1 interception and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Tamu for 240 yards for 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. This was a quarterback duel in the best way possible. 2 of the most elite quarterbacks in the UFL going at it, really carving up defenses, and in the end, the DC defenders got the job done. I do think the turnover from Perez did affect things a decent bit. What about everyone pull off their helmets after this score? What is going on? Gorlami would be furious right now. There's going to be some like high school rule that he would be blabbering about. All these
NFL. It's an NFL rule too.
Yeah, all these newfangled kids in their helmets. I remember when we had leather heads. Remember leather helmets, Macedon? Do you remember that in the old schoolyard with the pigskin, the leather heads, and bumping noggins? But yeah, great catch there by number 8. Why isn't it listed? Why isn't number 8 listed at all here? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. Tyler Vaughns. Whoops, Tyler Vaughns. Great reception there for Tyler Vaughns. One of his 2 touchdowns.
She is a bitch.
Yeah. But again, a quarterback duel in the finest. And the DC Vendors and Jordan Tamu got the best of them only by 3. The Renegades are still a dangerous team. However, they are 3-5, so we'll have to see how that shakes up with the ongoing standings. I believe
they're out.
They're out?
No.
They're out?
It's basically, yeah, they're out. Derry got who's in the playoffs right now, if I remember right.
That is rough. That is real rough. Oh, what a carve down the field. Yeah, let's go ahead and honestly, let's just take a look at those standings.
Yeah.
Because I know Houston's out after Michigan won.
Yeah, the clinches are in. It's Defenders, Battlehawks, Panthers, and Stallions.
Yep. So there still is some home field advantage here. That could be one. DC and Battlehawks are tied at 6-2, and the Panthers and Birmingham Stallions are only a game apart.
And also this week will be set for the home field between Michigan and Birmingham. You know why?
They play each other?
They play each other this week.
And Bryce Perkins
Michigan
is
already
out.
won. Yep. Michigan already won against Birmingham earlier this year, if I remember right.
Yeah, they did.
So if Michigan wins again, they get home field advantage.
Yeah, they do. They do. That's going to be a big game coming up. That is a big game coming up. So let's just go right into our predictions, I guess. So yeah, we'll start it out. Let's look at the scores real quick, just to recap our pick'em for this UFL season. Bottom to top, Gorlami 22-12 went 2-2 in week 8. Then Macedon 25-14 went 4-1. I'm 25-12 went 4-1 as well. Mamba's 32-8 at 4-0, and K-Duff still at an amazing percentage.
K-Duff.
I don't know if you're gonna make it 40-6, 5-1 in week 8. Let's go to the first thing. I've been saying something something something. Brahma's in 5. I can't lie to myself anymore. Battlehawks by 7. This is just rip the Band-Aid off, man. Just rip
It
the
only took
Band-Aid
9
off.
weeks.
It only
You said
took
7,
9
right?
weeks. Yeah, 7.
Give me the big cocks by 10.
St. Louis by 4.
Yeah, St. Louis by 9.
All right. Then Arlington and Memphis from Memphis, Tennessee. I think Arlington will win this one. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of interesting to look at the game because since both teams are eliminated, you're gonna kind of wonder who's gonna play. They're gonna try to get more rotation players in to see if someone off the bench is gonna be amazing. Who knows? But at the same time, I still like the Arlington Renegades and Luis Perez for however much many time he plays. So I'm gonna take them by 4.
Give me the Renegades by 7.
Arlington by 4.
Living like we're renegades by 9.
All right, and then the game everyone's going to be watching, May 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern in Birmingham, Alabama at a Protective Stadium. The Michigan Panthers and Birmingham Stallions will duke it out for the chance to have home field for the one playoff game in their conference. This is going to be Michigan Panthers team that is going to be starting Danny Etling at quarterback rather than Bryce Perkins, and for that reason, I'm taking the Stallions in a 1-point close win.
I'm still going to rock with Panthers by 3.
Michigan by 4.
Yeah, Panthers by 9.
Well, I'm going to rock with the Stallions. Okay, shout out Gorlami. And finally, DC and Houston at 4 p.m. Eastern on May 25th from Houston, Texas in TDECU Stadium. I'm taking the Defenders in this one. I don't know who they're going to play, but the Roughnecks, it's been a rough season. It's been a rough next season.
DC by what?
Oh, I didn't even say 5.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, what's the score?
Give me the Defenders by 7.
DC by 4.
DC by 9.
Oh, excuse me. All right. So that is our scores for the UFL. We have covered everything thus far. So now it is Macedon's favorite time. It is tier list. And it's a liquor.
Hey.
I'm already going to guess.
I have to
Jägermeister's
see
going
how
F
my-
for-
Okay.
Really? No,
so
hold on.
1800
I can't see
tequila.
1800 tequila.
tequila. I can't do straight. I have to do.
Well, yeah, this is
B.
however you would drink it. If it's straight,
Okay,
if
so
it's
B.
like, okay, B. All right. Absolute vodka.
I like vodka. I'd probably put
Try
that
and
on beer.
remember.
Absolute's nice because they have some different flavors, like Absolute
No, I'm-
Lime in a Moscow
I'm just
Mule. Oof.
Yeah, you get
I'm
you get
trying-
a hint of lime as you drink nail polish remover.
I'm trying to remember when I had vodka at a friend's place one time. Fuck. See, I think it was weird. I try.
It's not the
what
best.
exactly
Its flavors
we
are
had.
okay though. So Bacardi, and this is the traditional rum, so not white rum. This is traditional rum.
I
Bacardi
will admit, I
Gold.
never had Bacardi because
You never had Bacardi.
that one I just never.
Okay. Did you have
Yeah.
Bacardi's white rum though?
No, I just never had Bacardi.
Okay.
I will
Bomb-
admit
Right
that.
in general.
Bombay Gin.
I don't think I've ever had gin actually. Now that I think about it.
It's
I
an
had it
old
once.
drink, but gin and tonic is slaps. Gin and tonic slaps. A good gin and tonic. oof.
I've served like gin stuff with gin in it hundreds of times. But I don't think I've ever had it myself.
Just trying to remember when I had it. Either A or B. Play A. I'll play A.
Okay. Burnett's vodka. I've never had this. Burnett's vodka.
Neither have I.
I never had
Okay.
that one.
Good old Captain Morgan.
Captain.
It's a solid rum, not
love
too
that.
pricey, but also not too great.
B.
A little rough. Okay, fair.
Average.
Fair enough. I can't
Ciroc.
even tell what that is. Let's rock.
I actually never heard of that. I admit
It's
I
the
never.
Diddy vodka. Anyway, Crown
Oh.
Royale. I believe this says vanilla specifically. I think we can just do Crown in general because there's not any other types of Crown here. So just Crown. All of its
I
flavors.
didn't even know they did vanilla.
Oh, dude, Crown Vanilla is my favorite Crown. Oof.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a
D.
whiskey
Never really
guy.
had taste for it.
D.
Whiskey and
Okay.
I don't hang after a certain thing happened.
The dice the dice that's for Warhammer I keep it in a Crown Royale vanilla bag.
Oh, you do too?
Yeah. Evan Williams.
What liquor is that one? I'm trying to remember.
Wait,
Like,
is
what-
Malort in
what type-
there?
Malort is not in
Fuck.
there. Hell
Fuck.
yeah.
Aaron Williams. Trying to remember what type of liquor that is.
It's the Kentucky bourbon. If you haven't had it, you haven't had it.
Not that one specifically. Not the
Okay.
Evan Williams.
Fireball. Gotta have
Also,
Fireball.
Also, Master. Oh, I have nightmares of Fireball. Also, Mamba. I've been scanning these, and none of these are giving me PTSD, so I don't think Malort's in here.
Oh, fireballs. D.
D. Fair. Okay. Goldschlager. I've heard of it, never had it.
Heard of it. I never had that one.
Okay. Have you had Grey
I've heard
Goose
of it.
though?
French vodka? Are you crazy?
Dude, Grey Goose hits. Grey Gooses.
It does. Remember that commercial? They were like who makes
This is-
vodka in France?
This is me trying to remember a friend's place a couple times. It's just I blacked out. That's like I'm trying to remember. It's because I blacked fucking out. See, I'm like vodka, like hit or miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hennessy.
You ever break out the Henny
Feels
master?
about Henny.
The Henny. Tyler Hennessy. I've never had cognac before. I do need to try it at some point. I've just never had it.
B.
B. Okay.
Cognac, not Hennessy.
Jack Daniels, old number 7.
I'm trying like this one's.
This is definitely a blackout one. This is the one that.
I know. Like, that's what I'm trying to remember. It's like, fuck. When did I black out on this one? Was it college? Was it high school? What the fuck?
High school. Gee.
E.
Like, what else are you supposed to do when you're a teenager that's bored out of their fucking mind and needs to forget about it?
What'd you say? D.
So you're middle of nowhere. C.
Okay. C.
I like that. Some of the like sad thing is though, some of the C was like I'm trying to remember if I blacked out or not.
Jägermeister.
I feel like that would be S if you were blacking out on it.
No.
That's a problem. I don't remember.
Yeah, because you drank enough of it to be like, woo, yeah. And then
Oh,
you forgot
Jaeger.
everything you did for the past 8 hours.
I'll say
Jägermeister's
A
solid.
tier.
Yeah, I actually like
tier.
Jaeger straight sometimes, but I do know most people do Jaeger bombs, which is. Have you ever had Hypnotonic?
I never heard.
I don't
of
even know what the
That's
fuck. That
the
looks
hit-
like some futuristic.
Hypno.
modern hippie shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Jameson whiskey.
I never had that one. Like,
Okay, it's actually pretty good. They have an Irish whiskey that I really like. Jim Beam.
green.
Be very B. Oh my god. All right. Jose Cuervo.
Oh, Hypnotic
That
is
one-
Jay-Z's vodka.
That one I never had.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Kraken. I think I know where
That's
this
here.
one's going. Yeah. Malibu. My wife is going to be. She's listening.
I never heard of Malibu.
Never heard of Uh-oh.
No.
It's like a coconut rum.
It is a coconut
like,
rum. My wife really likes it in Diet Dew. It's a good mix.
Coconuts. I hate coconuts. It's not
If
the
you
taste.
go to,
It's
like,
the consistency.
Applebee's-
It's consistency.
Okay.
Zombieland reference. I like that.
New Amsterdam vodka.
That's actually the house vodka at the place I work at now.
Okay, that's a vodka I never had. I will admit.
Okay.
Never had that
Patron
one.
tequila.
Patron's good. Patron's good. Those Jose
When
Cuervo.
I black out on that one.
Blacking out on tequila is dangerous business, dog.
It is.
I know, dude.
You are playing
I know,
with
dude.
fuck fire. You're playing with a bomb.
Also, I looked it up. Hypnotic is a blend of exotic fruit juices, premium vodka, and a touch of cognac.
That's right. I did not black out on this. This one.
What
okay,
in
I
the
knew you were
magic
right.
elixir?
I don't
A
know.
tier.
A tier.
That's right. I did not black out on that one because I think I was at New Year's.
I think
at New
for
Year's
the
Eve
next
party with
the
my-
next concoction, I think hypnotonic needs to be
No.
that.
It's hypnotic.
Hypnotic. It would be hypnotonic would sound so much better because like tonic. But okay, whatever. I don't even
next.
know what this is. Pinnacle vodka. It's a French vodka. I've never had it.
Whatever.
I haven't.
Okay, you've probably had this
Everyone's
Smirnoff.
had Smirnoff.
Everyone has to have had
Smirnoff.
Smirnoff. If you went to college in America, you had Smirnoff.
Hmm.
It's a solid lower to middle low shelf vodka. It's got some crazy wild like the red, white, and blue they do every like Memorial Day, which yeah.
Like either B or
Smirnoff
C.
Ice.
I
Ever gotten
got
As I
ice
said,
before?
as I said, vodka is like hit or miss for me. Like, I
have
won't say
a
hit or
funny-
miss, but like,
have a
I'll
funny,
say low B, low B.
Okay.
I actually have a funny ice story. There was I was at a convention in 2018, and one of the people that brought along, she brought along about 3 20 packs of Smirnoff Ice, and just kept stashing them all around the hotel rooms. So you open up the bathroom, and it's sitting on the toilet. You lift up, look on your pillow, it's under there. There was one she got my buddy. He had packed up everything and got through airport security, flew all the way back to Philly, and as he's unpacking, that's when he finds another ice.
He got a Smirnoff Ice through.
And there's just this video of him in front of Philly's International Airport, just with the most befuddled look at his face, holding a bottle of ice vodka.
Oh my gosh. All right, Svedka vodka.
Never heard that one.
It's
Oh.
Swedish.
Swedish. Jack Daniel's honey.
That's actually not
Okay,
bad.
I never had the honey. I never had the honey.
And last but
It was
not
something
least,
that we did at
good
Applebee's.
old
Tito's.
Tito's American vodka. I feel like it's kind of newer.
I never.
You
I
had
never heard that one.
Tito's?
No, I never had Tito's.
Mamba.
Tito's actually isn't really
What?
that
Do you
new.
hear?
It's about
He's never had
He doesn't
Tito's.
know Tito's.
You don't know Tito's?
Okay, no, hold on. Can
Yeah.
no. One thing that's weird. There's no wild turkey on there.
This isn't all of them.
This man was born in the
This is gonna include,
1950s.
every
Scott.
liquor in
God
the
damn
world.
it.
We'd be here for another.
You'll be here
6
for like
hours.
4 hours, and half of them you've never tried.
Okay.
How do you know?
So-
yeah. Well,
Well, should I hold on? Is this going to be
But
better?
anyway, Tito's, I feel like it's been around.
what are you
for a while,
trying to
it's just
do?
more mainstream.
no, we could
for-
stay with this tier list. It's just I never.
What in the fuck are some of these?
Yeah, that's the thing. Though, is like some of them just seem
They're all rums.
weird.
Plantation, Hamilton,
I know-
Myers rum,
okay, okay, you only
You only
Foursquare.
named, like,
You-
5 of
Well, that's the thing though. It's like some of these I never seen before because they're not in the area I'm at.
Fair.
Yes, damn, I've
Like,
never
half
heard
of these-
Hamilton,
half
Philly,
of these
Smith and
I-
Cross, Hamilton.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah, at least half of these.
I've tried
I never
this,
seen.
this.
Yeah.
Mm.
throw up gossip? I had that.
I think I've had that one, and that was really good.
I've even heard of Plantation. I think I am from the north.
Oh yeah, and
Uh,
then that. Both Bacardis.
Oh, Bacardi.
Yeah, I think that's
I
it.
like an old logo for it. It looks different.
Yeah, I think it's an older Bacardi logo, probably just for the images. Anyway,
Okay.
before we
Yeah,
get on,
As you see, it's just me trying to remember when I blacked out. I did not black out,
Hey,
and
this
probably
guy-
half of those.
this guy
And then
responsible.
break
also half of
responsive.
those blackouts are probably me passing the fuck out.
Yeah, shout out all that. I definitely think that I'm gonna butcher the name again, but hypnotic.
Hypnotic. It's
Hypnotic.
spelled really weird.
Yeah, I think hypnotic needs to be one of the things that we get for the mocktail or the cocktail of all cocktails for like the loser of the pick'em next year.
I can get a bottle for $15, and it's something called hypnotic harmony, and they even spelled harmony wrong on this one.
Oh boy. Anyway, before we get on too much further of a rabbit trail, or is that yeah, it is right. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, before we get too much further on that, we'll go ahead and sign off. It was a good episode. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like the video and stay subscribed. That way you can see all of our videos come out every Friday at noon. We'll have another one next week for you where we're going to break down Week 9's action and talk about Week 10, and especially look at the playoff picture for the UFL. And NFL things are starting to ramp up slowly but surely, so we're getting some stuff from OTAs, and before you know it, the Canton game will be right around the corner. But yeah, once the UFL season ends, we'll be taking a break for a while, just until the NFL starts getting revved back up. So yeah, enjoy the football ahead. We're getting into the playoffs. It's going to be quite a lot of fun. So have fun with all that. Enjoy some of the warmer weather if it doesn't get too hot in your area. And most importantly, run the damn ball. Have a good night.
Most importantly, drink responsibly, please.
Exactly.